Okay, we are now recording.
Okay. So tell me a little bit more about your telehealth practice, your telepsychiatry practice, which, by the way, I'm very, very excited and proud of you. That is going to serve such a major need, especially as people transition. I don't even know if I would say back to, but as create new norms and the impact of what this very quick change has required of people. Tell us a little bit about what your practice will offer.
Well, one of the things I'm so excited about with this practice is that not only is it going to be telepsychiatry, so it's purely telepsychiatry. There's not a brick and mortar, it's full telepsychiatry. And the great thing about it is with the shifts that have happened during COVID, that I think people are getting a higher awareness of it and also a higher realization of how it can change literally how you receive services. So one of the things that's so great about telepsychiatry is you lose, and Dr. Jada knows, we are both in Atlanta. How many times are people in Atlanta in traffic forever? And the great thing about this practice is you lose all of the traffic drama, because she knows if we go from where I live to where she lives in rush hour, that's going to be over an hour. So if you're in a major metropolitan area, just the fact that you gain time back in your day, because to do a telepsychiatry appointment, you don't have to go someplace. So you don't have to get in traffic. You don't have to sit in a waiting room waiting to be seen. For people that are very concerned about their privacy, nobody knows you even had this appointment but you and me. So it's extremely private. The other thing is, by switching the model, is I get to practice psychiatry my way, the way I want to. So I get to spend the time that I feel is necessary to be able to get a comprehensive assessment. So you're not going to be with me for 45 minutes or an hour and we're rushing. You're going to have 90 minutes with me just on your first appointment. And it's even functionally more than that, because I'm going to send you some paperwork for you to fill out so I can review a lot of your history before you even come, so that we can spend that time on some other things. So I just want to make sure that you get what you deserve. And that's one of the things I'm thankful to have this opportunity to have this practice, is to be able to give people the mental health care they deserve, which allows them to have mental wellness and increase their quality of life all the way around.
You know what? That's great, because sometimes just the hurdles of managing logistics would be a deal breaker for some people who are already kind of struggling with the idea of seeing a psychiatrist or needing a psychiatrist, or even if it's clear and they've seen one before, just thinking about the process that can sometimes be prohibitive for people. So being able to connect with you in person, essentially, all of you is there, all of your brain, all of your Harvard-trained knowledge, and all of that is present. The only thing that's not there is the hassle of logistics. So I love that you're offering that, and that I know that would be a great benefit to your clients. So tell us a little bit about, how does it actually work? How does it logistically work?
So logistically, what happens is there are two ways to get into services. One is you go to the website, you click a button, and then that takes you to a payment, because that allows you to invest in yourself. Then you go and you do a scheduling link and you schedule your appointment. Then you'll receive an email with some just general information about the practice, let you know exactly what to expect, and also tells you that you're going to be getting some forms. Because one of the reasons and one of the great things about doing it this way is, I don't know about you, Dr. Jada, even though we're doctors, we all know those times you've gone to the doctor's office and you get there, you're all ready for your first appointment. You know what you want help with. And you get this stack of forms, this humongous stack of forms. And it almost throws off your vibe because you got this big pile of forms. And the thing about having a big pile of forms then is, number one, usually what do they say? Come to your meeting, come to your first appointment 15, 20, 30 minutes early so that you can complete the paperwork. And when you complete paperwork, and this is just, it's a workflow. So this is not any kind of bash on anybody that does it, because it's very common practice. I've worked plenty of people who do that. But the great thing about these types of setups and the fact that with everything being in a digital space is I send you all of that information ahead of time, which means not only is it not something that's going to be on your mind when you're getting ready for your first appointment, is it gives me a chance to actually read, process, and research anything you may need that comes out of what the information that you put on the intake forms, so that when I see you, I already know something about you, so that we can make sure that the time we spend is very comprehensive, because I'll also have a better idea of some things that are going on before you even walk in the door. And it also helps with safety planning and coming up with your treatment plan, because when I have all that, then I can look up and know what resources are going to be helpful for you before you even, it's the equivalent of walk in the door, but come into the room, come into the digital room, that I have all of that ready for you. So the great thing is you'll get 90 minutes, but in that 90 minutes, we'll be able to do so much more than I typically would be able to do in an appointment. And the other advantage of this being a cash-based practice is then you're not pressured to see more people and to see people for shorter periods of time because of insurance reimbursements being less.
Yeah.
So at the end of the appointment, we'll have a full discussion. So during the first appointment, it's about 60 minutes of actual evaluation, 30 minutes of talking about how the process is, safety planning, having plenty of time for question and answer, so that when we finish that first appointment, we're able to come up with what your preliminary diagnosis is. And I'll tell you, the way I do things, it can change because I'm going to get to know you over time. So this isn't a situation where I'm going to look at you one time and assume I know every single thing about you. So you'll come out with what the working diagnosis is. We'll have a plan, a comprehensive treatment plan, and we'll also have a safety plan. So you'll have a full plan of what to do if there's an emergency.
And is this all private? How am I certain of that?
This is one of the other advantages of not having insurance involved. It is totally private. The only ways we break privacy are the same thing that goes with HIPAA, is if there's a risk of harm to self or others, then we have to break confidentiality to make sure that you're safe. But other than that, it's all private because we don't have to report anything to your insurance company or anything like that. So it's 100% private. And the great thing about this is it's super private because you're not going to run into anybody in the waiting room. You're not going to run into anybody in the hall. It is super private.
Oh, nice. And in the cyberspace, is it protected?
Yes. Everything we use is at a HIPAA level security. So the portal that is used for the actual appointment is at a HIPAA level, because one of the things we probably don't talk to as much to people about is there are certain levels of security that are built into these video conferencing situations. Whereas if I was FaceTiming or something like that, it doesn't have the same level of security and encryption as the ones that they call HIPAA level platforms. So everything is in a platform that is specifically designed for healthcare.
Oh, that's great. That's great. So, Dr. Ericka, how does this differ from your coaching practice? Who would be a telepsychiatry client and who would be a coaching client, and how would we know the difference?
That is an excellent question. So the first thing is there is a definite difference between coaching, psychotherapy, and psychiatry. So naturally, if I'm coaching, naturally, a coach is not going to prescribe you medication. A coach is not going to be looking at things from a medical model or a diagnosis or helping people get through something that's more related to a higher level mental health issue. So from coaching interventions typically are a little bit different than psychotherapy. So if you were seeing me as Dr. Ericka, the psychiatrist, then we're going to be working with something specific that's going on with your mental health that's causing a significant level of impairment. Most of the people I'll see most likely will be dealing with issues with mood, possibly issues with coping or high level stresses or trauma. Whereas if you come to see me as a coaching client, my coaching practice, number one, we're not going to be talking about your medical conditions. So we're not providing medical treatment. So that's the first thing. And I know Dr. Jada is aware of that. When you are a coach, you are not someone's doctor or physician. It is not a physician-patient relationship. And I think that's very important to be very clear on. If you're seeing me as a coach, you're not seeing me as your doctor. And with my coaching clients, those are primarily going to be women that are just looking for some help to get over just that hump of feeling distressed because they feel like they've done everything they were supposed to do and somehow don't have the reward at the end of the rainbow, that they're not feeling fulfilled at work. They're still wondering, why are they still single? Wondering why don't they have the kids, the 2.5 kids and the white picket fence? And that's causing them to just feel sad or angry or that they're just not living the life that they deserve, and is also impacting even sometimes the decisions they're making. So that's kind of the difference.
Got you. So describe to me the person that is in the dictionary for a Dr. Ericka coaching client. Describe that person.
Sure. So that person is a professional woman that is most likely in her 30s or early 40s, that has been working hard, has gotten her education, has really been focusing on all those things she was supposed to do, and then was waking up and wondering, why am I not married? And then getting tired because she's gone to so many baby showers and so many weddings and has been a bridesmaid so many times, and is wondering, where is her Prince Charming? Where are her kids? Why is she sleeping alone? Why doesn't she have what she needs? Why does she feel not respected? Why does she feel that people keep asking her? She can have done something phenomenal, but the first question out of everyone's mouth is, why aren't you married? When are you going to get married? Why don't you have any kids? What's wrong with you? So it's someone that needs to find a way to feel good about where they are right now, instead of being totally caught up in all this stuff that everyone tells you you're supposed to be.
Yeah. I think you describe a lot of women at some point in their lives when we take inventory and we start to look at check boxes and timelines and deadlines and, accomplishments and what's there and what's not. And, for some people that happens around birthdays. So I think that you definitely really describe a group of people that could certainly benefit from getting some guidance and direction and some solutions and some strategies and ways of seeing the other side of the rainbow.
It is. And I just know so many people, and I'm in my 40s. I don't have any kids.
No way.
You just see, pardon me?
I said, no way, you couldn't be 40 anything.
What happened was, is that you just see so many people who are walking around heartbroken, that they are 100% heartbroken over this fairy tale they were sold of, this is what it means to be a woman. This is what your life is going to be like. And when that fairy tale of you're going to be married, you're going to have kids, you know, you're a good girl, these things are going to happen. When that fairy tale doesn't happen, it can be just devastating. And since so much for women is tied onto those identities of being married or having kids, that people can fall into a space where they start feeling worthless because they feel like no one sees them or appreciates them, or something must be defective with them because that's not where they are in their life.
Yeah. I totally see that. I definitely see that. And I actually see a lot of that as well in the work that I do. So just so much of pressure as women, as professional women, as successful women, you know, whatever that definition of success is for you. And I think that's always something that we have to really examine or carefully design when we're meeting with our clients is, what does success even look like for you? What does that look like for you? Not necessarily of what you see on television or what success looks like on Facebook or Instagram or LinkedIn. So not a cadre of credentials, but what exactly is success for you, especially at this stage of your life? Because what you thought you wanted to have or do or be or accomplish to be successful in your 20s may very well be very different in your 40s, 50s, 60s, whenever. So that's awesome.
Well, thank you. It's important to help people take their power back. And I think that's a huge part of what you do also is giving people the skills so that they take their power back and don't give it to everyone else so that everyone else can determine their value and worth.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And being able to really clearly identify with self and to have a clear sense of self is really the sentinel point. It's the starting point. And when you can't start there because the identity has been enmeshed in a role or it's been enmeshed in a responsibility, maybe as a caretaker, as a wife, or as a scholar, or as a, you know, whatever your profession is, sometimes really who you truly are, gets lost in being these things and doing these things. So it really is, I think, a great thing to be able to see that and to help others to see that as well as a starting point for the space of healing and optimizing health and happiness. That's the way I see it. Yeah.
I like the way you see it.
Yeah, well, a lot goes into, I've been doing this for a number of years, decades, and the experiences that I've had the opportunity to help people work through, both on the medical side as well as on the coaching side, has really been a very, very rich, fertile ground for cultivating the ideology even around what we should be speaking to women about as healers and as health leaders. And for myself, I even call what I do a bit of health ministry. So being able to go deeper and to get out of that surface level symptom-based ideology of how we practice, it really, really, really informs the new paradigm shift of how we will really help people to live healthier and happier lives. Yeah. So
I like the idea of healthier and happier. I'm down for that.
Down for that. That's the whole thing. Because I really, that's really that's the passion drive. That's the mission for me, is healthy, happy living for everyone. And particularly, as you mentioned, I work with professional women, those women who are high achievers, results-driven women who are accustomed to leading and accustomed to winning and accustomed to success in many areas, but there's just this one area or these two areas that really throw life out of balance. And so it's hard to really continue to look at those accomplishments as the accomplishments that they are, because the foundation is weak due to the imbalance of what you really see for yourself now in the space of a lot of times health, because I do work with women who have weight challenges, difficulty with controlling the weight, difficulty with losing weight, maintaining a healthy weight. I do work with women who even become emotional eaters because now emotional dominance drives their decision making. And that's really, really hard for professional women who pride themselves on data-driven decisions or team-related decisions, professional decisions. So we got that part mastered. But then when it comes to those very same or similar elements and applying those to our personal lives, it creates a sense of failure. Like, how can I do all of this out there and then come in here? I'm alone. I'm fussing and fighting and arguing with my SO. I'm eating ice cream and cookies by the gallons and packages. I don't have the energy or the wherewithal to deal with anything or anybody because I use all of my strength to show up to the public as this all-together, well-designed, bulletproof, foolproof, issue-proof image that we show up with so we can command respect in the workplace. And so I really love working with women who have that dichotomous existence because it's not designed.
Are you still there? We lost your video.